The Gothic steeple of Sacred Heart Conventual Chapel soars like a point of pride into the blue Texas sky. From a stone tower, bronze bells sound melodic tones across a proud neighborhood on San Antonio's west side. Built by the Sisters of Divine Providence, the chapel welcomes visitors for masses, weddings, and funerals. It has provided inspiration and solace to students for nearly 100 years. The chapel at Our Lady of the Lake University emerged from a prophecy given in 1895 by Mother Florence Walter.
She stood on the hill here and said, one day we will have a chapel here, and its spires will be seen throughout the city of San Antonio.
It took 11 years to fund the chapel. The sisters sold needlework, candy, and gifts. They received pennies from children they taught across Texas.
The altar, which is Italian marble from Italy, was donated by 15,000 students.
The sisters hired a renowned architect to design the chapel. Leo Dielman created an architectural wonder: magnificent arches, cast stone reliefs, stained glass windows, a marble altar.
So the whole chapel itself is a work of art.
Its beauty impressed former mayor Henry Cisneros, who grew up down the street.
My first memory of coming into this chapel is as a young man, and I suspect I was transported to Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, or to the Vatican in Rome, or some other such overwhelmingly beautiful place.
Dielman designed more than 100 churches and buildings. Dielman's family chose Sacred Heart Chapel as the site of his funeral in 1969.
This fit my grandfather. This was appropriate as his finest work. This is where he should have had his Requiem Mass.
Like the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor, Sacred Heart Chapel stands as a symbol, a beacon of hope to the community and beyond.
The spires of this chapel rise up across the west side and is the most definable geographic feature. From downtown, you can see these spires. From the neighborhood, you can see these spires.
After its completion in 1923, the chapel served the Sisters of Divine Providence and the students they taught. Before long, the chapel extended its reach to the community and inspired its residents.
If you're living a hard life on the west side, if you're in tough straits financially, if your family issues are difficult, and yet every evening you hear the bells of the church and you look out and you see the spires of the chapel, you know that life can be better and is going to be better.
Located below the magnificent marble and stained glass, Chapel Auditorium plays an integral role. It holds more than 200 events a year, from business meetings and receptions to retreats and quinceañeras.
When the civil rights hearings were held here in San Antonio and they needed a large gathering place on the west side, it was Chapel Auditorium they went to.
The chapel was recently listed in the National Register of Historic Places. For all its beauty, no major renovations have been done in a quarter century. The roof, walls, and stained glass need repair.
These windows are precious. They are not just a work of art, they are a tribute to God and His beauty.
Financial support is needed to preserve this national treasure for generations to come. The cost? Approximately $10 million.
It's what you would do to your home. You don't want your home to deteriorate. And so that's what the renovation of this chapel represents. But deeper than that, the maintaining and nurturing of the dignity and respect of people so that they always have a place to worship.